In the last video, I was looking at creative adjustments and how these can turn into unhealthy patterns that then hold us back in our lives. And I spoke about the processes of acknowledging and allowing, and what I really want to do in this video is look a little bit more at the allowing process. And what I mean when I say that is exploring it fully, exploring the experience, no matter how negative, fully. This could be an unhealthy pattern of isolation, of anger, of feeling stressed, of drinking too much, of feeling ashamed. It can be a whole range of things that you can use these tools to work with. In my previous video, my lovely sound lady Maya threw pens at me, and the way I reacted was by hunching, closing my eyes, tensing my body. So there was a whole range of things that I did in order to protect myself. The acknowledging was noticing that. And the allowing is to really sit with those things and see how they feel. Let's go for a more common example than having pens thrown at you. Let's say, for example, you receive a nasty email from your boss or a friend of yours. Just imagine that and imagine the feelings that come up. There'll be some physical sensations in your body. There'll be some emotional feelings. There'll be some thoughts, and there'll be some impulses. So we work really as holistic beings, our entire selves constantly reacting to the environment, not just with our thoughts, but with our feelings, with our bodies. So it's really important that we keep in mind that this process is a whole embodied process, and in that way we can really come to terms with understanding and undoing these negative patterns. So let's go back to the email example. You receive the email. What you notice is, for example, there's a physical sensation, so your stomach may tighten. Then you may get an array of thoughts occurring at the same time. Thoughts such as, he's such a bastard, he doesn't understand. Or, I'm useless, I knew this would happen. Emotions will come up as well, feelings perhaps of shame or anger. And along with this will be an impulse, possibly an impulse to send a nasty email back, or just to leave, to cut contact and go. It can be really helpful to look at ourselves in this way and to start noticing how our physical sensations, our emotions, our thoughts, and our impulses are interconnected. Just to start learning how closely they are interwoven. One triggers the other, which triggers the other, which triggers the other. And so after a while, we're caught in a kind of continuous cycle, which can be difficult to get out of if we don't stop and really take time to start noticing. Some unhealthy patterns sit deeper and really affect and define who we are and how we are in the world, in terms of how we impact the world and how we're impacted by the world. They may often be the foundation from which we move, think, feel, and act. What this process of allowing does is it puts us more deeply in touch with this foundation, with these sort of automatic impulses, and allow us to start again making more choiceful, conscious decisions in the world. And more simply, allowing just means just being with. So, what is it like to sit with the tightening in the stomach? Just to really sit with it, to feel it. What happens to your breathing as you notice this? Perhaps a resistance arises. What's it like to sit with the resistance? What happens? What is it like to notice the thoughts that come up without getting caught up in them? Is that difficult? Maybe it's easy. Can I just sit with what's happening without having to react to it? Allowing these feelings and emotions to simply just be will be really difficult at first. You'll feel compelled to want to change something, to want to get up, to move around, to shout at someone, to write the nasty email. Part of the process is just sitting through this. See if you can acknowledge these impulses and these compulsions and just gently refocus your attention back on your body. It's amazing that just by doing this, you'll find yourself creating a lot more space in your life. You'll find that you have more time, and more time to think about the way you are in the world as opposed to just reacting to it automatically. So what will end up happening is, in a way, you'll end up going back towards creatively adjusting into the world in a way that feels fresh and new, rather than feeling stuck in your old ways of being. In a way, this process I've just been describing now is the process of mindfulness. And this can be a really important tool in helping us to feel more in control, more alive, and more spontaneous in our life. In some of my future videos, I'll be exploring mindfulness in some more depth.